Hi, it's Chris with Implied Music. Make a deal with the sound. I had a teacher who used to say that. Make a deal with the sound. What does that mean? Well, in the old days when you printed to tape, that was what happened. MIDI, of course, changed all that. We can record a MIDI track and just keep changing the sound. Well, I'll tell you what. It's fun sometimes to just dig into a sound, say, that's what I've got, that's what I'm going to use. I was playing around this afternoon. I want to show you what happened. Okay, this is probably going to be a short video, but before I begin, I just want to say if this is the second or third video you've seen of mine and you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time to do it. I love to hear your comments. I love to know what's going on. Subscriptions help a lot for the channel, and comments help too. So let me hear from you. Listen to this. This very thick sound, piano, chords, strange drums, all came about because I watched somebody pounding the bejesus out of a piano sound using OTT, over the top, that great compressor squasher plugin. Listen, there's only 3 tracks here in this very thick, overcompressed, rich, reverbed sound. I want to show you what I did. The first thing I did was work on the piano sound. So let's take a look at that. Okay, here's my piano sound just by itself. Just sounds like a piano, right? Look at the effects I've got here. Over the top, I turn it on. Pitch drift, free plugin, awesome. Wiggling the note. Auto filter, moving things around in color. Black hole, the very spacious reverb, and you can see the mix is set very high. And then I'll tell you what, I'm going to hit it again with another over the top. Another compressor, this time compressing the reverb sound. And finally, a little channel EQ just to tame the beast. So now I'm that's a piano sound that's sustaining almost like an organ, and that's because the combination of reverb and over the top, I'm still just holding it down, makes the sound last forever. The initial transients are being squashed and the sustain is being stretched out. It's so much fun to play. All right, so to be specific about it, let me back into the filter, because the over-the-top is not unusual, the reverb isn't unusual, but I'm using this filter to slow down the initial attack quite a bit. I've got an envelope on the filter, and it's opening up the sound in an interesting way. If I don't hit it too hard, I get a sharp attack, but if I splash it, you can hear what happens, right? I love this sound. Well, I like that sound so much, I played a big D, just a note, and I imported it into Clevgrand's Tomofon. Tomofon's a kind of a wavetable sample playback synth, and it's got some unusual properties. Here's that chord that I was playing. It's a very thick, huge chord. It's a big stack of thirds, a major 11 chord with a sharp 11th. Over here I've got Cytomatics wiggle wobble origin, and then a gain plugin, just because I thought I might need to work on the phase inversion. And I'm using Pana to narrow the image a bit. Micro pitch gives me a little bit of wobble and reverb. Pan Man is sending it from side to side. Echo Boy is creating some animation in that side to side. And again, a little bit of channel EQ just to tame the big resonant peaks. It makes a beautiful pad. Do you hear the pitch shifting a little bit? I think that's the delay, the Eventide plugin. Micro pitch. And it's moving around in the field quite a bit. Now there's no reverb on that, just kind of a lot of delay and a lot of release. Beautiful sound. While I was having a good time with Clevgran stuff, I thought, well, I need drums. I'm going to open up Ting. Ting's a fascinating little plugin, and what it'll do for you is give you access to a library of sounds that are essentially commonplace household objects. Sounds like you're walking around your living room whacking on things. But I added Decapitator to crush it. And then very specific EQ from Sound Toys, and a great sounding EQ it is. And then more Echo Boy, this time with a rhythmic echo, a really specific sound. And then the harmonizer from Eventide actually is taking that sound and creating a very specific interval about it. So we actually are hearing a note as a result of that. And then again, just because a little channel EQ to control everything. So you hear the note, it's a G as it happens. Altogether, I mangled the sounds much more than I ordinarily do. I'll just say that, temperamentally, I really prefer fairly clean sounds. I'm used to playing the piano. Hey, the piano is an instrument you have to make a deal with too. But this sound, these sounds that I made a deal with, that's a very special kind of contract, a special sort of commitment to something that is unfamiliar. When you commit to an unfamiliar sound, you have to roll with it and play with what's there. Well, let's listen to the whole track. This is a very big stack. See that chord? Simple rhythm chugging along in the background. Over the top, the melody's in sixths and thirds. Big notes on the piano, low sounds. You can imagine it was really fun to just play these sounds. Just getting thinner and thinner. make a deal with the sound. Over the top, that amazing compressor limiter plugin is having a big impact on that piano sound. You have to play it in a certain way. It changes the sound radically, all the reverb, the destruction of the drum sound. And then moving from the simple sample of the piano sound, importing it into Tomofon gives me this remarkable sort of droney patch that I can play these complicated pad sounds on. I hope this has been fun. I hope it's been useful. Listen, like and subscribe, ding the bell. You'll be notified when I do my videos. I'll see you next time.